If I was to show you pictures of these trees here and say, I think these are going to be amazing street trees, you'd tell me I was crazy, and that would be fair enough. But these are the two species that I'm going to talk to you about today. Here they are in better form for street tree application. On the left is Acacia binervia, and on the right you have Bassaria spinosa. The one on the left is in Hampton, so outside of our municipality, but the one on the right is outside a cafe in St Kilda, the Bassaria, and it's a really popular tree. People love it. They don't necessarily know what it is, but it's quirky and really well loved within Port Phillip. The Acacia binervia, I came across it. I've got a sick kid. I spend a lot of time waiting for specialists, and the tree was growing on Hampton Street in Hampton. And I was looking at it as I was waiting for one of his appointments to finish up. I was like, wow, that's an amazing tree. It's just got amazing form. It had great trunk clearance, a really beautiful canopy. And then as the months progressed and I sat through more and more appointments, I got to see the flowers, and they are just incredible. It's some of the most beautiful acacia flowers that I've ever seen. And I thought, I would love to be able to copy and paste this across Port Phillip. And so we approached Specialty Trees, and they have been propagating it for us. We've had two collections. The first one went really well, and there was a lot of seed. The second one is also progressing well. There wasn't as much seed this time around for whatever reason. But this tree is predominantly found on the coast of New South Wales. It's considered endangered in Victoria. There's a very small population up near the border. I spoke to Dan Murphy from the Royal Botanic Gardens about it. Dan published a fantastic book this year for CSIRO on this Victorian wattles. He described this particular tree as magnificent, so I think that's a great endorsement for the Acacia binervia. We're hoping in its tree form that it'll probably grow to about 8 metres. That was about what the tree we're using to propagate from is. And we're hoping that we also get the good trunk clearance and canopy and salt spray tolerance that species is known for. Its common name is coast myall. It's probably a second-line coastal plant, but we also put it as close to the foreshore as we can to see how it goes, getting a little bit more salt spray. One of its real benefits is it's on the list for approved planting near underground utilities and transmission pipelines. We have some really big transmission pipelines going through Port Phillip, not just high-pressure gas, but also the oil transmission pipeline, and the setbacks are enormous from those. So anything which you can plant near them is a big bonus. And yeah, so talking to Raino, it's propagating really well from seed after scarification. And we've planted a few already. We started planting them last year, and we're already getting requests for the community to plant more of those. So that's really promising. So there is our source tree in flower and not in flower on Hampton Street. The second species, Bassaria spinosa, is kind of often spoken about for its biodiversity benefits. In Victoria, it's the sole host plant for some of our endangered butterfly species. It is very variable in form, so mostly it's kind of a shrubby looking thing, but there are tree forms, and when it is in tree form, it's great. And the other thing I just wanted to talk briefly to is something that we've started working on, which is I'm calling flora for biodiversity. And that is analysing the species that we're planting in Port Phillip with an eye on when they flower and when they seed. And the reason we're doing that is to be able to better map resource availability across Port Phillip. So there's a few reasons for that. One, we want to support fauna. So if we find that we've got areas where there's no seed and no flower, we can target planting species in those areas which will help benefit the fauna, but also perhaps we're hoping stop over-browsing of particular areas, because if we don't have enough resource available across the municipality, the resources that we do have are more likely to be targeted, understandably. So we're really looking forward to seeing how we can make this data work for us and get better resource availability across Port Phillip. So thank you very much.